It's data management, so software running on a Mac that's handling indexing and cataloging and verifying all of your camera data, audio data, and keeping track of it all, and also archiving it.
I've always thought of YoYotta as an LTO utility, but it's actually much more than that, isn't it?
That's correct. Yeah, we started out focusing on LTO, which, as it's a great way of storing large amounts of data, but we've diversified into doing on-set backup, general production backup and archive. Also cloud storage as well, so uploading and downloading from S3 buckets, as well as tape, and keeping up to date with the new tape generations which are coming out.
Can I use YoYotta just for keeping track of stuff without using it for archiving and without using it for backup? And if so, what kind of functions do you have available?
Sure. We can index without doing anything to it.
Now, what does index mean to you?
Index is going through everything in a folder or a drive, and rather than just collecting the file size and date and modified date and so on, we're able to go in and look at the camera codec, time code, and all sorts of other metadata. That all goes into a database which is manually searchable, but it also can be automatically searchable to locate material for restoring. So it's all about knowing where the data is and also quickly restoring it when you need it for editing or grading or effects and so on.
But you're working just with the technical data, and I don't mean to minimize that because that's important, but I have 1,500 slides that I took on my vacation, which of course are perfect, as you know, and I want to find an image. So they're all labeled IMG 001, 02, 03, and if all we're doing is archiving the name, how does your index help me in that regard?
I wouldn't say that we're a MAM, so we're not at that level. It's more the technical side. We do make thumbnails for clips, but not for every single still. So I wouldn't say we're a perfect fit for locating camera stills, but for identifying camera clips, yes. Because in addition to the time code and the name and everything, we do make 3 thumbnails at the beginning, the middle, and the end.
Then let me flip the question around. Help me understand why I would want to use your software as opposed to just simply doing Finder searches or what's available to me. What's the advantage of working with your gear?
Because we do know that they are camera clips or audio files. We give you the extra information like frame rates and so on. We're also verifying that data and making sure it's definitely the right file. We use checksums to do that. New at the show, we're able to compare 2 sets of data. There may be meant to be a mirror, which is fairly easy to compare because everything has to have the same path and file name and checksum. But our comparison tool that we introduced here can also say, let's forget about the file layout because that's been rearranged. Let's make absolutely certain everything is on there, even if it's now moved to a different location, which is great when you're updating 2 sets of files on a SAN or a RAID or on tapes. You can now easily, quickly compare them both ways and see what's missing and then move that from one side to the other. It's like a file comparison tool, that part, but again, it's optimized for video and audio files.
What have you got that's new at the show?
In addition to that custom job that I just mentioned, we're also fully on board with the new ASC MHL, which has been bubbling away for a few years now.
Translated into English, that means what?
Okay, sorry. That's a report file that's standardized, telling you where things are and what their content is by using a checksum. So you can, it's like an index that can be moved between, that's understood by different applications. So an industry standard index. And it also uniquely has a chain of them. So when you make a change, when you write a load more files to a drive or a tape, rather than just making a new timestamp report and maybe overwriting the old one, this keeps the history, so the audit trail, hopefully right from the beginning when the clips were offloaded from a camera. So you can actually go back in time and see what was added to the tape or the drive, see where files have been added or taken away. So it's a way of helping you hopefully not lose content, which is ever more possible with the amount of content and the amount of cameras that people are using. So that's a major new thing. We've been using it for a while in the YoYotta software, but now we allow you to go click back through that history chain and see a list of the files growing. So that's we hope that's going to be, it needs to be more widely adopted, but of course it's chicken and egg. Unless you start doing it, you're never going to get there. And it's great that Netflix is giving people a little bit of a push to get a little bit more organized.
I asked you this question earlier, but I cut you off, so I'm just going to ask it again. Who would be a typical customer? Obviously, you range from very small to very large, but is there sort of a sweet spot of people that can take advantage of your software?
Well, it's really just anyone with a lot of data. If you're not doing that many projects, you may be able to use your own system for organizing and comparing and making backups and archives. But if you've got more data, you really need something to help you, and that's where we step in. So it's not a person, it's what, how much data they've got.
If you were to do a one-paragraph summary explaining what YoYotta does and why somebody should get it, what would you say?
It's easy-to-use software, low-cost, running on the Mac platform that allows you to index and catalog, manage your material from beginning to end.
Martin, thank you very much.
Thank you.